media, technology, and STEM advancements in youth. Tune in, ask questions, and let's talk IT. Brought to you by the St. Kitts Nevis Robotics Association.
How was your day? Glad you could join us today. We got it with no time to play, with no time to wait, so we're gonna keep up the pace. Hey, most likely, y'all don't know about IT. I mean, like, most of the old folks, they don't know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Today we're talking IT.
Yeah, okay, hey,
Today we're talking IT.
yeah, alright, ooh,
We're gonna keep it lively.
Okay.
Learning here
Yeah.
is likely.
Hey.
When we're talking IT. IT.
yeah, hey,
Today we're talking IT.
know your computers, this for the viewers.
Today we're talking IT.
We are the tutors, we got the humor, yeah.
Today we're talking IT.
okay.
Learning here is likely.
Learn to hear is likely, so let's start IT.
Hey, welcome back. Are we on? I can't really hear anything. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yes,
you.
we can hear you.
Oh, yeah, I had myself mute again. This is like a usual thing. I have myself mute and I can't hear anything. So, welcome back to Let's Talk IT 98.9 Win FM. I'm your host, Sanjeev Suri. Joining me today, as always, we have Mr. Everell Williams in the studio. Everell. Now, you know, last week we spoke about this. We had spoken about this, and we had said that next time Mr. Neil comes, we're not going to introduce him as Mr. Neil. We're going to introduce him a little different. Let's, we need some drum roll, my guy. Come on.
Drum roll.
Dr. Neil, this is how we're going to introduce you from now on. Otoko no Shinwa no Denzetsu. Isha Rikarudo Niru. The man, the myth, the legend, Dr. Ricardo Neil, back in the studio with us. I had to do like a Japanese opening because we're all anime watchers here, so I had to do it in Japanese. Mr. Dr. Neil, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. It's always a pleasure to be here to chat with you guys. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're crazy. We have shenanigans going on every episode. A matter of fact, last week we were talking about the whole crisis that's going on that people call World War III, but we were making memes out of it. I mean, you have COVID plus World War. It has to be, COVID protocols must apply. 6 feet apart. Can't bring it closer. Right, Mr. Neil?
Yeah.
Next thing you have cyborgs, Iron Man.
I don't know what's next.
Even if you see Iron Man the first movie started off in a war where he created the first armor.
True.
Wait. Is that a future insight of what Dr. Neil's going to be making an Iron Man armor?
Who knows?
It's possible. That's all I could tell you.
Who knows?
So,
what's next?
Dr. Ricardo Neil. Now,
Yep.
we did have a few questions for you. Today, well, as of right now, we know there's graduations going on for CFBC.
Yeah, right now.
How do you feel right now about the whole graduation?
I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling excited.
As you should.
I'm feeling excited because the students from the Information Technology Division, our department, has done extremely well. So I'm going to feel extremely happy. We have almost all the students in that program would have gotten some kind of award. So I'm feeling extremely happy for the program. As a matter of fact, the dean reminded me today that 3 years in a row we have been, in a top position, in the college. So the program has been doing extremely well. Yeah, up there in terms of runner-up and national TVET scholar. So yeah, students are doing extremely well and program is doing extremely well. So I'm extremely happy today. I didn't even realize until when they begin to show me, because I'm always focusing on what next to be done to get things done, but I've never stopped to process everything, to look and see what is actually happening. I realize that students are doing extremely well.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Now, of course, there's a few questions that we have got last week. One of the questions would be, over the years, your students, obviously your students would have graduated, like you said, 3 years in a row, they've been on the top. Compared to like a few other programs, and you are the head of IT, how do you feel? Like when your students, like you find out your students, like let's say sometimes you might have some students who may not show potential, but towards the end they do show the full potential and they come up top. How do you feel about those?
Well, the thing about it is that how must I put it now? I do not tend to look at students' limit or look at the fact that they're not able to probably function as effectively as how others would expect them to function in the immediate. I've always have this notion that no matter where you are, no matter what position you're in, you can actually function extremely well. You just need to be given that opportunity to actually do so. So whenever I have students who start off very slow, or they start off trying to figure out themselves or trying to find out what they are comfortable with and what they are strong in, I tend to slow down and work with them, because I know that those students tend to excel. And that's what we have been seeing over the years. We have seen students who enter the IT program not showing exactly what they want, but they enter the program because they're not sure, but they heard of the program and the program is a good program. So they try to be a part of it to see if they can find themselves. And we oftentimes say to these students, who are not certain, come on, join the IT program. If you're not certain, join the IT program. What can you lose? And so by joining the IT program, you give them a good footing. And the reason why I always advise students who are not certain as to what they really want to join the IT program is because IT is what the future is. Technology is what the future is. So if you run away from it, it is going to find you somehow. If you choose a career path that you assume that it's not in there, it's going to be there. So it is going to raise its head everywhere you go, no matter where you go. So, so I've always advised students, join the program and, see what the program is like, if you're not certain. And so some of these students would have started very slow. And then gradually, when they begin to understand that we mix the theory with the practical, that's when they realize, so I can read about this and then I can do it. Or the program gives you the opportunity to research a particular topic that you find interested in, or you might have a particular project that you want to come to life. The program tend to give the students that kind of flexibility. And so as a result of that, we have found that students have found themselves functioning in the program effectively, because the program facilitates that. If you say, hey, Mr. Neil, I would like to build something, I'm going to say yes. I'm not going to say that is impossible. What are you talking about? I don't have that kind of viewpoint.
What if a comes and asks you, let's build a rail gun?
Well, I'm going to tell them that it is possible, but then we have to bring ethics into it. We have to bring ethics into it. Ethics, do you think that that's a good idea? Right? But I do not necessarily operate under the concept of saying that you can't. I always operate the concept that you can. And I think the concept of you can't is what would have prevent a lot of skilled students, a lot of students who have potential, who are gifted, not to really see their true potential, because they are told that you can't do this thing, right? And the IT program doesn't operate like that. We believe that every student can function, and that is why we have so much of the top performing student at the Clarence Fitzgerald Bryan College. Of course. Because we do not believe in that limit the students, say, you can only do this and that's it. No. And furthermore, my concept and my perspective of a university or a college is that the university or college should provide that environment where you research, you experiment, you test, you try. And that is what builds a community. And that's what separates a college from the regular operating world, if I may use that term. So, we have never really, view students being slow. We never really view students in those category. And even when students find it difficult to grasp the concept and the terminologies, we work with them. And that is why our program has been doing so well. So I'm still going to go back at the fact that graduation is going on now. It is being live streamed right now. I'm not sure how far it reached, but
I think it's still going on.
It's still going on. Yeah. But I'm extremely proud of the CFBC TVEM's Information Technology students class of 2021. You guys have done extremely well. Now Sanjeev is being generous at the moment, but he's also a part of that class who's graduating.
I think I should show off a little.
Congrats, bro.
Pull up
Congrats.
my stole.
Don't be flexing too hard now.
Yeah, we're gonna flex in this whole stream. Yeah, we got the stole here. But yes, so Everil is your first year student.
Yeah.
What advice would you give him in the next 2 years that he has ahead of him?
Never to stop. Don't stop. That's my advice to Everil or any other student. Don't stop. Don't let what people say, what people do, impressions, and don't be intimidated by other students' work or by perceived perception. Perceived perception meaning that you might assume that somebody is performing extremely well when they're actually not. And you might step back because you assume that. So never be derailed by any perception or anything that you might think. No. Because there's a thing called your subconscious. What you tell yourself is what tends to manifest. Right. If you tell yourself that you're not doing well, I'm not going to perform well, that's what's going to happen, right? So that is a reality. So you have to tap into that subconscious and tell yourself, hey, I'm going to do well, I'm going to outperform, I'm going to excel. You have to tell yourself that before you even start to do it. So that's my advice to any student at all. Tell yourself that you will and you can. In the past, when I used to be a full-time high school teacher, a full-time high school teacher. I used to have a lot of students who had some different challenges, and so they would come to me and they would say that home, my parents generally don't really pay attention to my performance, or home, my parents don't really sit me down and say, hey, what's going on? What happened today? They don't do that.
So there's no acknowledgement.
Right, so there's no acknowledgement. And as a result of that, they do not feel the need to actually put out any effort or even to push the boundary or even to excel more than where they are. Right? So to those students, I oftentimes sit them down and say, listen, you can perform. Don't let feelings, environment, don't let none of that stop you. Just focus and you will be the best. And that tends to happen a lot.
I think the thing that me and my friends did throughout college was we had our own goal. Like we set a goal.
Right.
And we were like, we have to hit this goal by, like, it's a milestone for us. So throughout like every semester, we had a milestone set.
So you see, that's a good thing. You had a milestone because you would have already overcome the boundary of, I know what I want. You know what you want. So now I'm going to set some goals now. Right. So you have crossed over that boundary. You have some people who are still in the position of, for example, they're in a household where negative go in their ears, negative, nothing positive. All right. So they have to deal with that. Right. So they have to overcome that step to reach at that stage where you were. Where now I can set goals, all right? And that is actually good when you can set goals. And actually
I think
pursue them and fulfill them.
I think the most positive thing for you to be able to do that, especially in a place where persons are constantly inputting like negative thoughts.
Yeah, negative things, yeah.
I think the best thing to have is like positive friends around you.
Yeah.
Because once they can like push you, you're gonna once you get a first step into a push, you're gonna be able to walk through.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I oftentimes say this. Well, it's a common saying that birds of a feather flock together. I hope I get it right.
Yeah.
Birds flock together. So the people who you put around you will say much about you, and also it will also encourage you to go in that particular direction. And some people, you tell them that, and they say to you, no. They are just my friends. I'm not like them. But the reality is that if you follow a certain crew, that's the direction that you actually go.
Yeah,
in.
you're gonna follow that. You're gonna follow that path.
Yeah. Whether consciously or subconsciously.
I think me and my friends can attest to it that I actually, being around them a lot, I do tend to act like them.
You take certain habits.
You tend to take certain habits. Whether or not you're deliberately doing it.
Yeah.
Right. It's good flow, and that is what is important. It's important for you to keep people around you who are progressive, people around you who are positive, people around you who are innovative, people around you who are looking on the next big thing. What what next to be done. You know, that once you put yourself in that environment, you have to excel. You just have to excel.
You're in a competition that you have to win.
You have to excel, you know. But when you have negative people around you, that's not going to do any much. You know. So I oftentimes say to, you know, and I'm going to go in a little weird zone now. You know, I oftentimes say, you know, for boys and girls, because once you're in like fifth form or, you know, going high school, you find that the whole concept of girlfriend and boyfriend comes up. See what I'm saying? Come on everywhere. It's just common everywhere.
Yeah.
And so you know that particular concept can determine where you go. Because if you have a negative person around you, you're not going to excel.
Yeah, right.
You're gonna be
You're gonna have problems,
Yeah, you'll be slowing
right? So whether it's a girlfriend or boyfriend, or it's a group
Right.
that you're part of, or it's just probably some casual friends. You have to be very careful. You choose your friends really, really wisely. Now, for me, if you notice, my group is very small.
I don't even know you.
You see what I'm saying? Right. So, no, because the people I keep around me are people who must be progressive. Or even if they're not progressive, I have to be progressive in the midst. So to set an example, you see? So that is the kind of environment that you have to do. And I think that is what the IT program at the college would have established. The TVEM's IT program at the college. I think the group that we have, even though we have, you know, challenges with the different groups coming together, at the end of the day, the focus and the objective that you mentioned and the goal is one. So understand the one solid goal.
Right.
And going through the process, you know, whether we sometimes come off the path, you know, somebody's always there to pull back everybody on the path. So that's where I come in. I say, okay, come back here. This is where we go. Come back here. This is where we go. Yeah. Right. So that is the whole goal. And that is why it's important to keep positive energy around you, and you will actually excel. You will excel. I can guarantee you. And even this subconscious thing that I mentioned, the fact that you should tell yourself these things is very, very important. Right. When you tell yourself things, it is just like, for example, persons who are grown up who have parents or guardians who speak negative things to them. If they constantly in that household with a negative thing over and over, you find that they generally never really excel in life. Right?
Because they're like, that's my capacity.
Right. That is all you know you can do, and that's it. And so they want there to say, hey, you actually achieve way more than that. You know, way more than that. So once that environment is changed, then you find that the performance begin to change, the mindset begin to change, how you view things begin to change, and that is, you know, how things actually work. So that is the environment that we actually have, and that is why I'm so proud today, because I do not believe if we did not have that kind of environment, the students performing at that level. I don't believe that they will be performing at that level. It is purely because the environment is different.
And the thing is, the whole class actually works as a team.
You work as a team, as a group.
Even though we have like internal issues between one another.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, everyone does.
And that's the thing, you know, because even if you're part of a group, any group, let's say you're part of a, you actually have a friend group together, right? Every time, you guys will not agree on everything.
Exactly.
You're not going to agree. There's some point in time you're going to disagree on a point. Well, I believe that it is, you know, chicken curry, you know, it's curry chicken, you know. You disagree on points, but at the end of the day, what are the core values in that friendship? The core values have to remain the same, and the core values should be to excel, to succeed, to achieve, to grow. Those should be the core values in that group, and that is what we try to foster in everything that we do. So, you know, whether it is SKNRA, IITAE, CFBC IT program, we try to foster that kind of innovative push, go beyond the limit. You can, you know, never tell yourself you can't. We kind of foster all of these values, and that is why the students actually perform extremely well, right? So we have, I'm gonna probably call the names later on, you know, of the students who actually graduated this year. Unfortunately, I can't call the name of the ones last year, but you know, when I said this year, I mean 2021. Yeah, class of 2021. So I'm extremely proud. So that is the main basis upon which that we have to function in that in the world. Because even Elon Musk and all these guys who are inventors, develop, the group that they keep is not persons who actually come to the table with some negative mindset. No.
Yeah, and I think I did see a TED talk with Elon Musk saying that they have a rule in the company, and that one of the rules is that if you're not going to learn something from a certain meeting, just get up and leave.
Yeah, and
it doesn't make sense to be there.
It doesn't make
anyway,
sense.
So
right, so no, it doesn't make sense. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes you have to make some tough decisions.
Right.
You have to cut some friendship off. You understand? So some serious close ties, that it hurts when you do it, but it is good for you. Because if you want to excel, if you want to grow, if you want to rise above, then you have to just remove. And I've seen students in the IT program over the years, because I've been at CFBC from about 2013 for 2014, somewhere there, right? And we have seen different groups pass through the program. And as they come in the program, they begin to recognize that I am demanding a lot from them. And as a result of that demand, then they begin to stop some things that they used to do, right? They begin to stop a lot of things they used to, and then they begin to function and perform, right?
Personally can't relate.
You can't relate?
Can't relate. Because I'm just so used to doing a lot of things more than what I'm asked for. So I'm just too used to it.
Yeah, so in your case, your case,
personally, I can't relate.
Personally for you, your case, because when you came in the program, you came with that ethics already. So you were functioning at that level already.
Yeah.
But not everybody is actually functioning like that.
Everybody is the same.
Yeah, because sometimes different persons are coming from different environment.
Right.
You see different environment. And so as a result of a different environment, then their reaction and behavior is different.
I think the only thing that I did have to forcefully stop was playing games, because I was a game head back in high school. But when I came, I was like, I have so much things to do and so on. I was like, I need to cut down on the game.
Yeah.
I even didn't have any time to continue my YouTube channels anymore. Had to put a pause on all of those.
Yeah, but you make a lot of
But
calls
at the
other
same
things.
time, I was learning things, because 2021 global competition would be the best example.
Oh yeah.
I did so many edits that like every video was a new edit. I was like, let me put these things into a test, and that's where the first time I actually did a test. And so regardless of me trying to put a pause on something, I actually was learning something new.
And that's actually good. And that's what it's actually about. The persons who are high achievers, who actually achieve a lot. I was thinking about something. The person who achieve a lot, they must actually be consistent. You have to be consistent. And so, something you have to stop some stuff.
Right.
Yes, most of us who are in IT, we tend to be gamers. We like games.
Right.
That's bottom line. That's the core underlying factor. So when I was in college, I used to play a lot of game in college.
Yeah.
Right? We used to watch a lot of anime, Naruto. Naruto was the thing at that time.
It's still the thing.
So it's the thing, right? So we were just watching those things. And the thing was so bad that some of our classmates and college mates, they weren't sure if we were going to pass our exam because we're just playing games, right? So that's it. But when I start to, function in the real world, I had to kind of step away a bit. Like, I can't be doing this, right? I can't be playing this, So I used to play Need for Speed every day. Right, I used to play just every day. I'm just on that thing because I want to race.
Was it just Need for Speed?
Right, Need for Speed, Hitman. Right.
Are you still into the Hitman franchise?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was the thing. So I was hooked on it, but I had to make a decision and actually decide when I should do these things, because if I do it, then I'm going to be locked in it. And I have this habit: if I'm doing something, I'm going to be locked in it.
That's true.
So because of
I think that's all IT person.
So I know I'm going to be locked in it, I say, let me stay away from it.
Like once you're into it, you're gonna
Yes.
literally
you're gonna shut out everything, and you're going to be focusing on this one.
You're gonna be
nothing. So you just focused on that.
Yeah.
All right. And so that is how So most times when I'm talking to students or any group, I'll say to them, yes, it's good to do these things, good to be a part of these things, but you have to be kind of very selective, as in when you do, because it will distract you from the right? You distracted from the real world. So that is how I actually handle it, So, I like the growth of the IT program over the years. It has grown. As a matter of fact, when I came on board, it was just probably about 12 students, or maybe not so much. However, before I came on board, there are students who joined the program in year one because they thought that I was coming on board from the high school, so they would have signed up, before time. And so that group was a large group, but the group that I came, it was a very small group, very small group, probably about 12 students or something like that. Now we have to put a cap on the program. That's how bad it is. So we can't be taking in too many students because too many students applying to be a part of the IT program every year.
Right.
And unfortunately, I guess CFBC is still working on how they're going to facilitate the students who can't join the program. But we have had a large amount of students applying to the program every single year. And I can understand why. Because if I was a student, I would want to be a part of it too. So, I'm hoping that as time goes by, the college expand so more students can be a part of the program. Can be a part of the program, because I've seen students shed tears when they're told, unfortunately, you can't be a part of the IT program.
Yeah, that gonna hit.
Really, because that is, your mind, your heart, your soul is set, and this is what you want to do, or you might not know what you want to do, but at least I know Dr. Neil, so, it might go over a bit easier, right? So, that's it.
But I think a majority of students get rejected because they do not have a science.
Yeah, that is the challenge at times. I'm not sure. Maybe the college will do something about it. I don't know. They might do something about it because one of the requirements is for you to have a science to be a part of the program.
And it's understandable because we do focus on
because of the research,
engineering,
research,
and
because research. So I'm not saying out there to the public, do not apply to the IT program if you do not have science. Still apply, because the college might make some adjustments for the next
I'm actually be honest here.
School year.
In high school, I was actually questioning myself, why am I doing physics in high school? Physics, chemistry, and bio, all three in high school. But then when I hit college, once again, keep in mind, I did not know we had robotics and stuff in the college as of yet. I only knew that they did something with the drones and stuff. I was all fun in my head. And I think it's the second week in college, Miss Neil was like, Sanjeev, how come you have never showed up in the robotics lab? I was like, we have a robotics lab? That's the first question I remember asking you. I was like, we have a robotics lab? And so he took me down there and he was like, this is the robotics lab. And that's where I was like, oh, everything I learned in physics and chemistry and everything's applying here, because we were, at the time, you were preparing to go to Dubai.
Yeah.
And I remember getting asked questions like, would this work? And I'm the calculate instantly, like, I'm like, oh, this is physics. Calculate this, and you can get the distance, so how much speed, we get a distance. I'm starting to calculate things like that. I was like, okay, so physics actually applies here.
Yeah.
Only to fast forward a few months later, we're working on Capstone now, innovation project. And I'm like, oh, what idea we're coming up with? And I was like, why don't we make a tsunami wall? This is just an idea we had, concept idea we had. I'm like, why don't we make a tsunami wall that can prevent the waves? Because if you see Guyana has these kind of trees in the water to prevent the waves. Like, it eases the waves up before hitting shore. So I was like, why don't we make something similar, but a wallish kind of thing? Biophysics and chemistry all apply at the same time now. So I was like, okay, so science does apply. And when people ask me, I'm like, I can't explain it to you because I don't even know how to explain things. So I think that's the best example I can give for persons asking why we need science for IT.
Yeah, and that's because we it's not just go to school as usual. We have evolved from that. Let me use the word evolve. Yes, we have evolved from that because
Pokemon.
we have research projects in the TVIM's IT program. We focus on drone development, which is a program that is in the back of my mind because I need for our research to actually come full around the circle and become a project. Become a product. I want to become a product. I think we have passed the project stage into research and now want a product. So because of the research in drone technology, humanoid technology, all those technology, it requires some kind of knowledge in science. But I think it's something that we can work with, because we have seen students enter the program who never had a science, and they would have performed. So so I'm just hoping that the college look into that and see what they can do there. But for the public who's listening, if you are thinking about joining the IT program, you don't have science, still apply. Who knows, you might get through.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go on a quick short break, but before we do go on a break, well, promo plugs back in the studio after a long time, so you gotta let the promo plug do the promo.
Just breathe this time.
I'll try to breathe. So, tune in every other Tuesday on 98.9 WINNFM to join your host, Sanjeev Suresh, as we uncover various realms within IT and STEAM. We also go live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and... why am I going with the and? We also have podcasts. My bad. We have podcasts. Now, the podcast, I haven't really mentioned this. The podcast was down for a while. We did mention this last time.
Mm-hmm.
We said podcasts were down. For the viewers now listening, the podcast is back up and running. It is on... The podcast is Let's Talk IT, which is available on Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, and Spotify. And soon we might actually hit SoundCloud as well.
Okay.
So, now wow, English. My English just corrupted there. File.exe not found. To be updated on everything SKNR, check out our socials, which are Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Flickr at SKNR, the St. Kitts Nevis Robotics Association, or SKN Robotics Association on YouTube. And to be updated on everything IITAE, well, you guys should be actually checking IITA out, because we did have our event this Saturday just passed. If you guys missed it, don't worry, our next event's coming up soon. More information will be provided on the social media pages, which are Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn at IITA or IIT Ltd. Now, a big, massive shout out to our sponsors, which is SKNRA, the St. Kitts and Nevis Robotics Association, IITA, the International Information Technology Academy of Excellence, and TDC. We'll see you guys after this short, brief break. Let me see.
Enjoy the convenience of getting all your documents in one place. At the TDC Copy and Print Center on 4th Street in Boston, we offer document formatting, graphic design, and copy and print services. Our team of professionals truly understand all your needs, whether it be administrative, professional, academic, or personal. You bring it, we deliver it with quality every time. Visit the TDC Copy and Print Center today in the TDC Mall on 4th Street in Bastyr, or call 465-2511. Your copy and print specialists are waiting to serve you.
Hey, how was your day? Glad you could join us today. We got it with no time to play, with no time to wait, so we're gonna keep up the pace. Hey, most likely, y'all don't know about IT. I mean, like, most of the old folks, they don't know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Today we're talking IT.
Yeah, okay, hey, yeah.
Today we're talking IT.
Yeah, alright, ooh,
We're gonna keep it live.
Okay.
Learning here is likely.
Hey.
When we're talking IT. IT.
yeah, hey,
Today we're talking IT.
know your computers, this for the viewers.
Today we're talking IT.
We attituders, we got the humor, yeah.
Today we're talking IT.
okay.
Learning here is likely.
Learn to hear is likely, so let's start IT.
We're back. Once again, guys, welcome back to Let's Talk IT 98.9 WINNFM. I'm your host, Sanjeev Suresh. Joining me tonight is Mr. Everett Williams and the man, the myth, the legend of Iron Man of St. Kitts, the Caribbean precisely, Dr. Ricardo Neal joining us tonight, guys. We just had a discussion on the graduating students of 2K21, and it's a blast. Tonight's just been a blast. We had a whole discussion on how students who are preparing to graduate or preparing to move on to the next chapter in their life, what they could do to do so, especially in cases where you might have some excuses. Well, I call things excuses when you give as excuses, when you say like, oh, this is how things are and I can't really get out of it. Guys, the best thing to do, like we had discussed earlier, get yourself the people who you inspire you. If persons do not inspire you, I'm telling you right now, wrong company. People need to inspire. They need to be able to push you forward. They need to be able to push you up the ladder. If they can't do so, it's heartbreaking, but you gotta say goodbye. So, Well.
Yeah.
We're coming to a second segment of the show. For the first time, I actually took a break. Now, we normally never take breaks. I keep forgetting breaks because, discussion.
What is break?
Yeah.
I know, right? What is a break? We don't take breaks. But, we actually had some interesting information, especially for the game heads, since we were talking about games earlier.
Mm-hmm.
For those who know about the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, GTA 5 is finally on those two platforms, and they had a massive update recently called the Next Gen update. I'm actually going to go and download GTA 5 tonight because I want to see what's in the update.
Must be nice.
So, because I think the update involves a lot of new weapon skins, a lot of new vehicles, especially vehicles that look amazing because I think they also added like the Teslas and so on. Something that I'm actually looking forward to. So, that's one of the massive updates, and also plus right now, if for those who are looking to get some new games, Steam and Epic Games do have massive sales.
Yeah.
Especially, the Hitman franchise, Mr. Neil, is on a huge sale.
Yeah.
The whole, how much was it? The whole franchise for like $20?
Yeah, don't draw me into it right now.
It's a whole bundle.
And even the Assassin's Creed bundle, the entire bundle was for $138. The actual price for the whole bundle is about $380. So you're getting a steal, a huge steal. And this applies to like other bundles like the Far Cry, Just Cause. So who was looking to get some games, this is the best time because I just got Battlefield 5. So
make sure your system can run it.
Yep.
I'll have a fire extinguisher in case.
Yeah, but the thing is about it done on March the 21st
and 28th.
And 28th as well.
They have two ending dates.
So hopefully you get there before that the first one reach, because if the first one reach and your game is already out, bad time for you.
Yeah, and some of the games actually do not have a deadline date to when it's going to end. So for games like that, sorry to say, but you're gonna have to try and see how quickly you can get those, cop those. Yeah, we're gonna use the word cop.
Yeah.
It's more, not get those, cop those. We're gonna, go for like the more.
Matter of fact, just check actually Epic Games as well, because they have some good deals as well. So.
And speaking of which, we did discuss this last time, and I'm gonna put it out there once again. Activision was bought by Microsoft for $69 billion. An interesting part about this is it is not officially with them yet. They have 5 more days. No, not 5 more days. I'm wrong. April the 20th is when they're going to officially have it.
Oh.
And the reason for this I find funny is the numbers. $69 billion. And they're going to officially own it on April the 20th. The number for April is 4 and the date is the 20th.
You want to form a conspiracy?
And and when I was going through like the thing, I was like, what is with billionaires having fun with names? Because even I think we spoke about Tesla, the way the models are named. Like the Model S, the Model 3, the Model X, and Model Y, which literally spells out sexy. And then the second one is like the Roadsters, like and that's like CARS, cars. So when you put them together, it's sexy cars.
Yeah.
And so these kind of things, I've noticed that billionaires like to do it. And these days, even millionaires
do. It's a fun thing. Like it's like
they're just having fun.
Yeah, it is like
They're having fun, yeah.
It's called entertainment. So.
But I think the most interesting thing that recently came out is Microsoft is actually working with Metaverse. So now this is going to just, it's a new realm we're entering into.
Interesting.
We already know Horizon Worlds, the game is out for Metaverse. It's an amazing VR game. I've looked into it. I haven't played it, I've looked into it. I don't have a VR headset yet. Yet. Quote unquote. I don't know how long, but yeah. But Horizon Worlds is an amazing game where you can interact with persons and so on. But what's going to be more interesting, since Microsoft owns Activision and they're working alongside with Metaverse, would they implement the Call of Duty franchise and these things in the Metaverse?
And the thing is, I hope they continue updating.
Oh, most definitely, because Microsoft owns Minecraft, Microsoft owns Halo and so on. And those games are completely updated up to this day.
I think that's what will happen. I think most of the games are going to go on the Metaverse. Metaverse is worth over $800 billion.
So
Yeah.
it's going to transfer definitely.
Yeah, people are gonna move to the metaverse.
I think
they actually have court. They have some simulation of court in the metaverse.
really.
Yeah, literally. So a guy was actually having fun with it. So and all these little simulations is what is to come. So they have
it's
a
like you just
judge
have-
and you
wow.
have persons in court.
So it's like role play.
Yeah, so
Oh,
they're
jeez.
doing a lot of this happening right now.
Oh my.
You know?
Soon you're gonna have like people in there like,
NFTs are available in the metaverse.
and that's the crazier part.
Yeah.
It's today I learned about this. There is a NFT shoe collection that's coming out in April.
Shoe.
Yeah, and this collection is from Europe. The crazy part about this collection is it is for the sneakerheads who love sneakers. Once you cop the NFT of the sneaker, you could actually shoot an email to the company that has it, and they will send you a pair of sneakers for whoever owns the NFT.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So you don't have to use that same.
You don't have to like resell the shoe, the physical shoe.
Uh-huh.
You could sell the NFT and the person who has the NFT gets the shoe.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
I feel like soon we're gonna have actual physical object transactions through NFTs.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. You see, I'm not sure if you know JP Morgan. That's one of the
Yeah.
largest banking institutions in the world. They actually value metaverse at $1 trillion because they
Wow.
know that transaction will be going on.
Yeah.
Bottom line, so they know that's gonna happen. So I'm not surprised when I see these things happening.
So yeah, because technically everything is going online now. So not
I'm
a lot of
already
stuff.
seeing like this. I had this like image in my
And
head.
the funny thing, right? I'm not good, but the funny
Yeah.
thing is that the metaverse for us in tech, metaverse is just virtual reality. That's all.
It is literally virtual reality for us.
That's all it is.
It's literally
But
the word.
now you have major players in it, and that's what makes it different.
Yeah.
Major players in it, and you have the tech gurus now are a part of it, and that's changed the whole.
And the
playing
metaverse
field.
isn't much different from VR chat.
No.
It's just like you're just talking, communicating. But the only difference with this is that you have the top tech companies actually supporting it, which is the only difference. And soon, if like companies like Tencent, even Elon Musk and so on, like push in, it's going to be a whole new thing. Especially with Elon Musk's neural link, where you can just like talk and communicate with your brain. I feel like that's going to be the game changer there. Because let's say someone has a neural link, and they don't even need a goggle to talk to anyone. They just see things. And they're like, hey, send a message to this person, and they're just thinking about it, and the message just goes. That is what where I feel that this might go in like next decade or so. I'm saying decade because sometimes tech takes a while. So
It's
and
in
because right
progress.
now he just started clinical testing like last month.
Who's that? Who?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Okay.
With the neural link. So I feel like that's one way they would do it. But the other way that I'm also seeing is like they're gonna use like the Amazon drone delivery bots that deliver stuff. Let's say you make a physical order, like a virtual order in metaverse to like a supermarket like Walmart or so on, and you get your order through a drone. It's by your doorstep. So everything is done virtually. PC building simulator. I just remembered the game PC building simulator, or like grocery shopping simulator. Imagine you play these games, you just walk in, pick whatever you want, and then once you cash out, you just put your virtual code, and the drones just deliver it straight to you. You don't even have to leave your house.
I wouldn't surprise if our simulators actually came into actual life.
Yeah, I don't like simulating games. No offense.
Hold
to
on.
anyone who likes
You
it.
can't say that because you used to play that, especially City Build. Oh, City Sky was
No, City Skylines is a game that I was playing because I wanted to design my house.
Yeah, that's thing. That's
But
something
then
creative.
when I learned it wasn't my house I can build, I was
So
like, oh, I
you're
can't play
building more
this.
stuff, but still, that's a creative
Yeah.
mindset of you building what you want.
Right.
So you're still getting something from it.
Yeah, true. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not a simulator person because I have played PC building simulator. I'll put it out there. I have played PC building simulator, and one thing I did realize is that I can do things in PC building simulator I can't. If I did in real life, that PC will be in flames.
Definitely.
And also, I mean, in real life, buying these parts to make the
Yeah,
it's very expensive.
it's gonna be.
So
It's outrageous because
so
I think
this-
like the
yeah.
3090 RTX 3090 alone is like $2,000+.
Oof.
So
Not gonna
in
think
the
about
game,
it.
I can like take the pad and like shove like 8 of it in a system, but in real life, I need like close to like $20,000 to do that.
Money
So-
no there.
Yeah, money ain't there. So we're gonna stick to like Yeah, simulator for those things. And sometimes simulator games, you can actually do anything you want. And especially if they're open world bases.
Right.
Because I do remember there was this one called Pressure Washer Simulator. It is the most useless game I have
Pressure
found.
washer simulator. Okay.
It's like you.
Yeah, it's the most useless game I've found. But at the same time, no offense to the devs who are listening, it is an amazing game, especially when you want to pass time. Because, and also it triggers you. I almost broken a keyboard from it.
Like also.
Yeah, so some games are there that teaches you new things. Because I did learn a lot from a particular game. I can't even remember the name. It's been a long time. Last time I played was when I was in grade 11, fifth form. It was a game that basically teaches me how to like build my own circuit board and stuff, how to solve and all those things. So I did test those same skills in a 2021 First Global Challenge when I was trying to help the team out as a mentor. Because the team went, I think I was also teaching you soldering and so on.
Yeah, but you ditch.
Yeah,
you working.
Yeah, because we were kind of on the
yeah,
like a deadline. We were on a
so-
time, so
Yeah, I
I was like, let me put these skills in the test. And I realized that all my solders, everything was on point, precise. I was like, the game did show me some good hints. So I feel like some games could help you, some games are just there for fun.
Yeah, it is.
And for parents listening, if your child wants to play a certain game, I think you should let him sometime, once in a while, not all the time.
Just make sure that it's nothing,
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Dr. Neil also said earlier that sometimes he likes to play games, relief. And I think that's the main reason why people play games.
Yeah, but you see, you have them type of situations.
Yeah, don't play
where,
Among Us. It ruins friendships.
But
I can't trust Everett anymore. If you guys don't know, I'm just shameless self-plug. Check out Crazy Tube Gaming, where I have actually live streamed the Among Us gameplay, where I got stabbed in the back by him.
I don't even remember that, but okay. but there is a couple games that certain people need to understand when it comes to real life situations. For example, GTA. Like that's a fun, enjoyable game, but you get some people that actually try that in real life.
Right. Some certain games you can do it in real life.
You can.
Like you can. You can't do Grand Theft. I mean, Grand Theft Auto is an actual term in real life.
Yeah, it is.
But you don't do that in real life. Come on.
Yeah.
Like you just be walking, you see a car, you just play like GTA and you just hop in that car and then like police gonna chase you. Of course, you steal a car.
The whole concept of game is to sharpen your skills. That's the
definitely.
concept of games. But some persons do not understand
They
that.
take it on next
Yeah,
level.
Yeah,
they take
it's
it on a
just
whole
a
level.
game, right? You're not supposed to go and try to practice it. You do not go and go on GTA and see all this, and then you're going to go and practice it in reality. You'll go to jail. So,
It's like, try this.
and also limits. Put limits on it. Don't spend like 10 hours gaming.
Yeah, and one thing I do.
If it's your job, then I get it.
Yeah, I
I
understand
mean,
that.
there are jobs for that
Yeah,
now.
people who have the jobs, that's their job,
Yeah.
But if that's not your job and you have to go to school tomorrow morning to do 10 hours and then go to
Or
school.
like for persons who
That'd
are
be
like
rough.
trying to develop a game.
Right.
You could actually play some games to like learn how things work in case you're not familiar or don't understand concepts. You could like play certain games, similar games, and then you can work on yours.
Yeah,
Because that's what I'm currently doing.
That's a lot of people that do it.
So
That's it. It just increase their knowledge.
yeah.
Just to put into your own creative
I feel like
stuff.
that. I think this is most programmers. Listen, you can again let me know if this is also you.
What's that?
Like when let's say you're playing a game, and you just like every little thing in the game, you're like, maybe they programmed like this. Maybe they set it up like this just for the purpose of this. When you like notice a bug, you're like, they could have fixed this. Such a simple
Yeah,
thing.
you
Same
begin to once you're a programmer, you begin to identify these things. Yeah.
Same with time when you were playing Fortnite, you find the bot area and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I actually did. So we were like testing out the new Fortnite because the Spider-Man thing. Everyone like talking about like how the web swings are so smooth, which it is, much smoother than the actual game for Marvel. So so we were there, we played like 8 games back to back, and we realized there's one particular spot in the map where a lot of players come to, and they're not even real players, they're bots. So I was what we call bots are like people who just get killed in one hit.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, that's interesting. In 8 games in a row, I ended up with like 10 plus eliminations. I'm like, that's kind of crazy because that's like an area where it seems like they're programmed for all of these bots to come to pick up weapons and go. I'm like, that's crazy for that kind of thing. And that's when I realized that every little thing in every game, I noticed something, and I thought it was just me who was doing until I met Zav. And Zav was like, no, I do that as well. So it kind of, because I was playing some games with him, like Valorant and so on. And even Valorant, he ended up like with the most skills in the game. I was like, how? He explained what he was seeing. What he was seeing is the physics of the game itself. So I was like, oh, so that makes more sense. And I realized professional gamers do that, intend to do that a lot. So I feel like that's a skill set that you learn and sharpens your senses. Because obviously certain games you need to be quick. You need to think quick. If you don't think quick, you're done for.
Goner.
Because especially Hitman, I'm going to be completely honest, Missy, I don't know how you played Hitman because I'm stuck on this one level for the longest time.
You stuck on the first level. That's the
Still?
funny part. He doesn't know how to hide. He doesn't know how to distract. He just run in and die. Like, come on, no.
I'm a speedrunner. I'm a speedrunner. Every game I speedrun. Because even Far Cry and the entire franchise, Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, and so on, I've finished it in like a fast amount of time. Not a world record time, which is like insane, but I've speedrun most of it. Even Minecraft, I speedrun it. So Hitman now, for some reason, I tried to speedrun it, but because there's like a cooldown or so.
There's a patient time. There's a time on
Yeah,
it for certain things to go.
That's one thing I don't have in games is patience.
You will need to work on that.
Because all the things that I personally play is like fast paced.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, even you personally, you were playing Rainbow Six Siege with us, and you had no patience.
Yeah, because the thing is,
imagine we played for 2 full nights, and the first person to wind up dead in the team is Ebra.
me. Because listen, I just converted to keyboard and mouse. I mostly use on controller. Yeah. So I still doesn't have the hang. I don't have the hang of the keyboard and mouse at all.
And he keeps running into people.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And I feel like we should have some kind of session where persons can learn why people play games.
You're right. You have a point.
Because some persons have different their own personal reasons. So I started playing games. Well, I was actually forced into playing games from Devan. You guys know Devan, right? Devan Peters, the COVID-19 response team for my ITE. He was here. He actually is the one who pushed me into games. So if for who I am right now, I blame him.
So you see, friends.
Yeah, but it was a good thing.
Yeah.
So because it is from games that I got interest in programming. So he pushed me to playing Roblox with him.
Oof.
Which is literally oof. So and then from there, it was more into me leaning towards more fighting like Mortal Kombat and so on. And that's because of Naeem. Naeem was like, "Why don't you try Mortal Kombat?"
Hey, it's like, was Mortal Kombat or Brawler? Which one?
Mortal Kombat. At the time, I think the 10th version was like the popular one. So he was like, "Why don't you try this?" And so that's where everything started. And I think everyone has like their beginning story. So I want to know what's Mr. Neil's beginning story to gaming.
I've never really stopped. What?
You never stopped to wonder it?
You never stopped to think about. I think. I think it's the fascination of seeing objects moving on a screen, and I'm in control. I think that is what fascinates me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the fact that I can control this thing on the screen, and I can put it wherever I want it, that is what fascinates me. I think that is what pulled me in, right? And then now it moves from that fascination to the ability to challenge the game itself. So you are playing against the game itself,
right?
And then it moves from that to playing against somebody else. Yeah, so that's where the fascination comes in. That actually pulled me in.
And I feel like I've lost interest in a few games that I think I've played a good amount of games, but there are a few games that I'm like my favorites, but I've lost interest in them. And purely that's because I have beat the game's AI. Like, like some AIs are like realistic mode, and you just can't beat it at all.
Just give
Especially if you're like the amateur gamer. I go in here, I'm done, I'm out. I'm like, that's it? I want more.
Well, okay, for Assassin's Creed, the first one, I beat the entire game, but I was like still fascinated by it, so I just started continuing playing it. Although I beat it, I continued playing it.
Yes. No, it's like no, like you finish the whole game.
Yeah.
And then you're like, that's all, isn't there more? And you're just waiting for the next patch to like something more difficult, something
Yeah, I
more.
understand that.
And
But
they should do what they did in the have you guys ever seen the TikTok emotional damage?
emotional damage.
Have you guys ever seen the one with Asian difficulty?
Oh yeah.
Where literally stepped on twig, moved too quick, and you're dead. Emotional damage. There was so many. I feel like we need a level like that. Like in an actual game. Some game. If any games devs are listening to us right now, do it. Like literally put Asian as a difficulty in your game and make it insanely hard. Like
One-
no one should be able to defeat it.
One stupid thing I done. I'm not playing that again. I'm telling you this. I just gonna quit one day. I know for sure I gonna rage. Just because that's stupid. Like a twig, you stepped on it and you died. Like
Move
come on
too
now.
quick. No. Iron deficiency. You wake up and you just collapse.
Oh yeah.
Those are like in a way like creative ideas of how you can make someone's life horribly hard. So I feel like someone needs to implement that in some game.
Yeah.
If they implement it in GTA, I'm sorry, that should be a modern GTA. If that's a modern GTA, GTA is gonna get a lot of players.
Funny, if you have a game that works on your whole entire body when it comes to make sure you have iron and everything there. Without
like
it,
check test.
Yeah.
I
and
feel
it-
like
For your health.
Yeah,
I
that
feel
one.
like there's gonna be a game something like that soon.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Especially
do
with the
that.
metaverse.
They're gonna do that. They're gonna-
Oh my!
There's no limit.
Imagine doctors checking patients through the metaverse now.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Through that same thing.
It is cool. I have no
Possible.
idea, but
It's possible.
Because even my watch is like checking my blood pressure every second. So imagine a suit you're wearing checks for every vital sign every like second.
And
That's insane.
You know,
How
yeah, you put a
efficient.
suit on, and the doctor wherever they are could check
yeah, but that's the
check
thing.
your blood pressure.
But the thing with that now, how efficient it is.
It can be more efficient than even the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I know somebody's gonna get upset with me listening, but yeah,
I mean, it is.
it's gonna be more. It can be more
It's gonna be
efficient
much faster.
and more precise.
Mhm.
You know, yeah. And all we need is the data. Once we have the data sets, we call it data sets.
Right.
So in artificial intelligence, in order for us to predict things, we need data set. So once you have the data set, we're good. For example, if we know within St. Kitts and Nevis that the common problem is, hypertension. All we need to get is the data for hypertension and put it in the AI system, and we'll pick up and predict every single hypertension, every single patient that has that particular disease or sickness. Yeah.
That's actually insane, and I feel like there's more metaverse talk that we can actually do. But
A lot more.
unfortunately, I just noticed that we're up time.
Oh yes,
That was quick.
Yeah, that was
I wasn't
was
expecting
definitely
that.
quick.
Yeah.
That felt too short.
So like 20 minutes right there.
Mr. Neil,
Yeah,
one
we just
last
wanna,
one last time for your graduating students right
yes,
now.
I just want to shout out to the names before we go. So,
course.
the graduating class for the Associate Degree of Information Technology this year would have been Javid Zuena, Javid Allen Zuena Bennett, Lesroy Bennett, Lesroy Benjamin, Laquandre Brown, Ray Brown, Zende, Marika Cumberbatch, Ajani Davis, Kyle Douglas, Shavalde Fay, Owen Haynes, Treadell, Lake Treadell. Right, Elric Morton, that's his name?
Yeah,
Elric,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
Morton, right. Raheem Phipps, Zende
Yeah,
Richards, Richards. Then you have Naeem Richardson, Naeem who is you have Hiten, Mikron, you have Sanjeev, Clarique Ward, right? You have Davy Wigley Williams, and I think that's all the names. I hope I didn't miss any name, but those are the people who actually excelled this year and graduated this year. So well done, guys. Well done.
Congratulations to you all.
Yes, and so the year one students, now it's your turn.
Yeah, of course. Guys, once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in tonight into Let's Talk IT. We are going to be live every other Tuesday on 98.9 Win FM to join me, Sanjay Suresh, your host, as we uncover the various rooms with IT and STEAM. Now, we go live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch on WINNMedia SKN. Let's Talk IT is also available on Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, and Spotify, soon to be SoundCloud as well. Now to be updated on everything SKNR, check out our socials, which are Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Twitter, Flickr, and LinkedIn, where I'm going to Twitch. Soon, SKNR is going to have a Twitch as well. Heads up. Now, to be updated on everything SKNRA, check out our socials, which are at SKNRA, the St. Kitts Nevis Robotics Association, or SKN Robotics Association on YouTube. To be updated on everything IITAE, guys, definitely check it out because we have an event coming up very shortly. If you don't want to miss it, check out our socials and turn on notifications as well. So check out our socials, which are Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn at IITA Ltd. Now, a big, massive shout out to our sponsors, SKNR, the St. Kitts Nevis Robotics Association, IITA, the International Information Technology Academy of Excellence, and TDC. And guys, that is the end of the show. Do you guys have any last words before we have to part ways for the next 2 weeks until March 29? Mark the date. That's our next episode. Guys, any last words?
Well, I want to say thanks to the young people in St. Kitts and Nevis who still have faith in the IT program. We have seen it over and over. I want to say congratulations to our new SKNRA members who came on board, who registered today and last week. We want to say a big shout out to the persons who came to the event that we had on Saturday. Right. So I want to say shout out to those persons. I want to say shout out to the executive body for SKNRA. You guys are doing an excellent job. Keep up the good work. And thanks to WinFM for having us.
So guys, I'll see you guys next time. March 29, mark your calendars, and we'll be there. We'll be back on Let's Talk IT, 98.9 WinFM. I'm your host, Sanjeev Suresh. Peace out.
Buying your medication is easy with City Drugstore's curbside pickup. WhatsApp our certified pharmacist at 662-8769 with your requests. For prescriptions, take a clear photograph and send for review. We will engage you in dialogue and then provide a quotation and link for payment. You can then pay via TDC's online payment portal. And once the transaction